All right, so the next one is, and I'm going to say this one slowly for good view.
Thank you, I guess. I don't... yeah.
Is the... I'm just kidding. I'll say it quickly for good view.
Okay.
Cockatrice.
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 Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you're
I'm not saying people on good view are dumb, by the way, unless you don't understand the joke, in which case... Oh, boy.
Okay.
And if you still don't understand what I'm talking about,
just move on.
Yikes.
We're moving on.
Cockatrice.
Right.
Get it?
Got it.
They're in the Bible.
All right.
What do we got?
They are. All right. So once again, all right, we're so just like we just talked about this last time with the King James and the you know the words they use, okay?
Yeah.
So same kind of thing. All right. So in the King James version, Isaiah 59 verse 5, it says, "They hath cockatrice eggs, and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of their eggs dieth, and that which is crushed breaketh out into a viper."
King James is so great.
It's got...
I wish you would read it all the time.
Is that what you want me to start rolling
Lots
with?
of ifs.
There's a lot of ifs. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
It really is hard to read.
Yeah, but it's funny to watch you do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I love the people that are just like, that's, you know, King James is the only translation they use, and yet when they're reading it out loud, it's like they're just stumbling over it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. There's a reason we've got different translations nowadays. But I get it. Maybe we could do a whole episode on King James only, but whatever. All right. So the Christian Standard Bible.
The problem is that if you translate the King James version of Cockatrice into our more modern language, it's worse.
Well, that's why you just translate from the Greek and the Hebrew and not from directly from King James. All right. So Isaiah 59 verse 5. So in the Christian Standard Bible reads this way: "They hath vipers' eggs and weave spiders' webs. Whoever eats their eggs will die. Crack one open and a viper is hatched." And so again, it's referring to, so instead of using cockatrice, it's using the word viper.
Okay.
All right.
So what is a cockatrice?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? That's why there's this word that's called cockatrice that we're trying to figure out how to use. And so it's an unused, like, it's coming from a root word that's really like rarely used. Is part of the problem.
Okay.
So in other words, in the Hebrew, it's like coming from an unused root, which means to extrude. And so that's why the idea like of a viper. And so, yeah. Oh no. All right.
What'd you say? Extrude?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm seeing some root word connections here.
I bet you are. All right. And so there's, and I'm not even going to read the rest of it because it gets worse. All right. So, but yeah, so they translate it 4 times in the King James Version as cockatrice.
Okay.
All right. But because of the idea of like extruding, like viper, that's why the like translations today use the word viper.
So why was this on the list?
What list?
Why is this on our list?
Oh, of weird.
Why are we talking about it then?
Well, I don't know.
Is it a weird thing?
I mean, it's just, I don't think it's a weird thing per se. I mean, it might be. I mean, again, we're using the word viper, but it's not. Okay, what's interesting is, let me put it this way. There's 2 Hebrew words that end up being translated as viper. Okay?
Okay.
One of them is this, the idea of cockatrice. The other one is actually like viper, like serpent, like we have today.
Okay.
All right? And that we would use today. So this is like this. So all I'm saying is this is like
but is cockatrice defined as something else?
Like, in other words, like what is it defined as?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Yeah. So when you look up cockatrice in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's just a legendary serpent that is hatched by a reptile from a cock's egg and that has a deadly glance.
All right.
Yeah. And so it's
it's a chicken snake.
Right. It's kind of like the way it's being referred to as.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, but I think, I'm talking about this. It's like this again. It's like this legendary serpent. Comes from a cock's egg. Has a deadly glance. Yeah. So again, we're pulling.
So it's a snake.
We're pulling these kind of words, right? And that's the thing. It's like in every translation, we're using words that we're familiar with, that we know, that we can relate things to, right?
Okay.
So when we're translating from in this case, from Hebrew to English. So in King James Version, they're using this Elizabethan English, and they're translating it with words that they know, that they understand, that they have a connection to.
So it's Elizabeth's fault.
Sure, blame her. Yeah, but like today's English in America, we're not using the word like cockatrice. Like, that's not a word we're going to often be using.
Well, right.
And so
because we don't even know what it is.
Right. It's like a it looks like that its first known use of cockatrice was in 14th century Middle English.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's like it's coming from, or even medieval Latin, but it's coming from a time period where that word was used. We don't use that word now. We don't have a clue what that word means.
Okay.
Right? Hence viper.
All
So
right.
Welcome to translations and the joy of translations, and why translations date over time, where King James is a really good translation in the sense of it's a good translation, but the words they use, we're not using. Some words they use, we're not using often today. Therefore,
right.
That's what makes it a difficult translation for us to use, because we're not even familiar with the terms they're using.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Is this when Shakespeare was around?
Yeah.
Because he made up a lot of crap too. He did though.
I don't think Shakespeare's making up this. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't think so. But you could ask my wife. She's an English major. She's all about all of this stuff, and so.
Well, you never bring her, so. I bring my wife.
You do.
That's when she pushes the buttons for us.
Right. And my wife has no interest in doing that. So, yeah. But, no, so she's...
Cockatrices.
Cockatrices.
Not real.
Not real.
Just a snake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is just snake.